Hi there, I'm Jen Rice, and you saw by my title today, I want to share a story which I think will be helpful, and it's an experience of someone. I'm going to leave her anonymous just to kind of, protect her from sharing everything all out there, but I think it will help people in that she actually was feeling a lot like I was about a year ago. I had hit the wall in my own health. I had this just irretractable heartburn, the kind that you get up in the middle of the night, sit on the couch for 2-3 hours hoping to, feel better, taking medication, drinking pickle juice. I mean, you name it. I tried it all and nothing was really helping. And it wasn't until I visited a functional medicine practitioner and was told that, hey, maybe it was my diet and I really needed to do a complete takedown, clean out, really use something called the 4 Rs, which is to remove, repair, restore, reinoculate. And there's different people say the 4 Rs different ways, but essentially you're working on your gut to feel better. Hey, good morning, everybody. I see you guys jumping on. Thanks for being here. I want to share a little bit about actually a friend of mine who wrote me that you saw in the title. She basically was saying, hey, she heard my story, like I just kind of did the quick recap of how bad my heartburn was last year, and I really had no choice but to go through a complete elimination diet, which was a 21-day plan that I ended up carrying on. We're going on almost 11 and a half months now. It'll be end of July. We'll mark my 1 year of kind of cleaning up my eating and drinking and everything. And so, she was saying, I'm sick of feeling awful and weak. She slept on 4 pillows, was getting up in the middle of the night, going, getting up to take something like Tums, like every night. And so she joined the challenge, which is for health seekers. It's the 14-day intro to anti-inflammatory lifestyle. And in that challenge, I'm just teaching kind of what I have done and learned through functional medicine, and now going through the fellowship for functional medicine. I just feel like the information can really be sort of disseminated out there in a way that people can take their own initiative and begin, if they're willing to make some changes. And what's really great for her is that she said, the good news is after 4 days, so 4 days of beginning the elimination plan, which is really kind of removing, and I'll go into this a little bit more in a few minutes, but you're sort of removing the things that are known to cause the most inflammation in our diets. And a lot of that is the processed foods, the white flours, gluten, dairy. Certainly there could be other things that you're just specifically allergic to or have a sensitivity to. For some people, that's in the nuts or seafood realm. But for her personally, she just sort of started to dig into the eating plan and the shopping list. And I like to call it like an eating switch versus a diet, because for me, it was just a switch, and just I wanted to carry that on until now. And so she says after 4 days, she's not waking up in the middle of the night. She hasn't taken Tums since she started. She has not taken an antacid since she started the change in eating. So a very simple thing. So, why is it though that, up to 20% of people, like all people, so 20% of all people in the United States are suffering from heartburn or this acid reflux or on medications. And they say that basically, conventional medicine, which I was trained in, I've been a PA for over 13 years, and mostly in conventional medicine, mostly dermatology, but I've recently switched into functional medicine and learning more about it because of how it's helped me. And so the concept that we have from, what I'd say conventional medicine is that there's too much acid, right? We're a lot of the things that we're doing are saying that there's, too much acid, but in reality, stomach acid lowers as we age. So what I found was in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society, 30% of people over the age of 60 have too little acid in their stomach. So they're actually not producing a great deal of acid. And that 40% of postmenopausal women have no, as in zero, basal gastric acid. So are we really dealing with an extra acid problem? So, hey, I see you guys jumping on. Thanks for being here. I'm talking a little bit through heartburn today. I wanted to share a friend of mine's experience with kind of switching out her diet, eating way, as I like to call it, almost like a new lifestyle, if you will. And so what we're wondering is the treatment wrong? Is the conventional treatment in medicine of suppressing acid, is this wrong? Well, you know, if you follow functional medicine or you start to dive into kind of looking at the root cause of things, which is basically like looking upstream, if you will, if everyone agrees that the lower esophageal sphincter, so you know where our esophagus meets our stomach, if that is leaking, you know, becomes leaky, you know, why is it leaking? Is it pressure from below, or is it the Western diet that we're eating? That could be one thing. The Western diet, the way we eat, how much we eat, the volume we eat, the types of foods, whether or not those are causing an allergy within our system, or maybe a sensitivity, or even the body is just looking at the food as a certain foods, it can recognize it as an inflammation thing, whereas it's really just food, but the body sees it as something it wants to attack. And that's where you see these gluten intolerance and that kind of thing pop up. Second thing, medication. So we're at an all-time high of medication. So there's a medication to take to fix a medication that you're already taking. And, you know, oftentimes I would see in practice, it wouldn't be uncommon for an average adult in, you know, maybe retiree age to be taking 12, 13 medicines, I don't know, somewhere like that. Not uncommon. And it's not that you don't need the medications. I'm sure that there are very good reasons for the medications, but they can cause this heartburn to increase. And it also, you know, when you start working on what you're eating, it can have an effect on a lot of the other things that you're taking medication for. And I've seen multiple patients remove themselves with the help of their primary care provider from certain medications because they've gotten more healthy. Maybe they've lost weight. Maybe they've gotten their, you know, their blood work down, their inflammation markers. Number 3 would be chronic infections can cause your system to have heartburn over and over and over and over and continually. And those chronic infections can be, you know, things that you might not even be aware of. A lot of people will carry around certain viruses or exposures that maybe they had when they were younger. They may not be, quote unquote, what you call symptomatic with a fever or certain obvious symptoms, but there could be something going on inside. And then number 4 would be environmental toxins. Not a whole lot we can do with that other than move to, like, I don't know, an iceberg somewhere, right? But, you know, it's something to think about. What are the environmental toxins where you are? Could there be a sensitivity there that's increasing the heartburn and symptoms that you're having? And then number 5, which I think is like the money shot of all reasons that, you know, we have health issues in general, and that's chronic stress. And until we figure out how to best handle our chronic stress, it just lingers there, right? And that's where you see sort of this rise of wellness because people realize that they want to get their stress under control. So let's say you're not really sure if you are necessarily suffering with heartburn, but you certainly feel maybe like she did, which is just not, well, she put awful, but maybe a little bit of weakness, a little bit of fatigue. You know, there are some things you can do without the help of anyone if you wanted to start it yourself, which would be to look into an elimination diet or an anti-inflammatory eating plan. And oftentimes this is merging a bit sometimes with a Mediterranean type diet. So I popped in a resource before of what's on the shopping list for an anti-inflammatory diet. I can definitely provide that for you if you're interested in that. Just, throw me a comment below. I can send it to you. Second thing you can do is begin eating fermented foods, and that would be things like kombucha. You don't even have to get that crazy. I mean, really, organic pickles are fermented foods. There's kimchi. There's a lot of things out there that sauerkraut, of course, that's a big summer thing, right? But fermented foods can be really helpful for your gut. And then healthy fats like coconut oil, olive oils, avocado. Those healthy fats can help to, also give you the energy you're looking for without going towards the, the kind of white processed carb boxed foods. And so, for me personally, I just wanted to share her message today because 4 days of just changing your eating, 4 days, and not getting up in the middle of the night to take Tums, I think is pretty awesome. And I know for me, I was feeling great I was feeling like I could sleep through the night within a few days, and I could sleep flat in about a week. And then I just kept feeling better and better and better. And then since then, I've lost over 25 pounds. The inflammation is just really lower in my system. And obviously we still have to deal with certain things out there. But, I think if you're struggling with a lot of gut issues, it's important to kind of address them. And I'm actually working on a course that should be out at the end of this month, which is the 4 R's system reset, which will address how to kind of reset the gut. And you can certainly, if you're interested in this content, I'll have a link for that up later on. But if you want to head over to Jenn Rice International Facebook page, I have some other videos and information that goes up from time to time there. And if you want a copy of the elimination diet, I can easily send that to you. I think it's a great place to start. It's nothing, I think they should have named the diet something else because nobody wants to start something that is like a negative, like elimination. I would call it maybe they should call it like an empowered, I'm taking control, feeling better diet, right? So, okay, I hope you guys have a great day. If you know someone who struggles with heartburn, gets up in the middle of the night, has to take antacids, that kind of thing, please feel free to share this video. I hope it will help them to know that there is an answer beyond more medication or doctor's visits. And I hope you guys have a great, great day and take care.